If you ever wanted proof that rice, wheat, and corn secretly run the world, just look at the food industry. Without these three, supermarkets would look half empty, restaurants would panic, and breakfast would turn into a philosophical crisis. They're the backbone of global processed food, showing up in so many forms that you could eat them 3 times a day for a year and never get bored. Wheat alone is practically a factory disguised as a plant. It gives us bread, noodles, pasta, pastries, cakes, cookies, biscuits, and more. Basically, every comfort food humans have invented when life gets stressful. Wheat is like the dependable friend who always brings snacks to the party, except the snacks also happen to feed half of humanity and make bakers millionaires. Corn, though, is the real magician of the food industry. Sure, you know it as tortillas, tamales, or popcorn, but behind the scenes it's busy sneaking into everything else. Corn syrup sweetens sodas, corn starch thickens soups, corn oil fries your French fries, and cornmeal becomes polenta or cornbread. At this point, corn doesn't just supply food. It practically has a side hustle as an industrial spy, sneaking into products you never suspected. Open your pantry, and you'll find it everywhere, quietly grinning from ingredient lists. It's no exaggeration to say the modern food industry is addicted to corn. If wheat is the breadwinner, corn is the hustler who somehow found a way to monetize every single part of its body. Rice takes a more elegant route in its contribution. It doesn't pop up in processed foods in quite the same sneaky way corn does, but it anchors cuisines across Asia, and the global food market leans on it heavily. Instant rice, rice noodles, rice flour, rice cakes. These are staples for billions of people, not to mention the ever-trendy rice milk showing up at hipster coffee shops. Rice is like the minimalist in the trio, quietly reliable, less showy than corn or wheat, but indispensable. It holds entire cultures together while politely declining to dominate every single shelf in the supermarket. What's funny is how each grain has carved out its own niche in the food industry. Wheat rules bakeries, corn dominates snack foods and sweeteners, and rice quietly reigns over the comfort meal. If they were a band, wheat would be the lead vocalist belting out power ballads, corn would be the flashy guitarist shredding solos and demanding the spotlight, and rice would be the calm drummer keeping everything in rhythm. And just like a band, if one of them goes missing, the whole show collapses. Imagine a world without bread, without popcorn, or without rice bowls. The food industry would be in full meltdown, and people would riot in supermarket aisles. And beyond just food, their influence is financial and political. Global industries don't just depend on them, they're practically built on them. A spike in wheat prices can rattle bakeries and governments. A corn shortage means soda, and snack companies scramble. A rice crisis can trigger protests in parts of Asia, where it's not just food but identity. These grains aren't just ingredients, they're economic levers, quietly shaping global stability while sitting innocently on your plate. Yet, despite their power, they've never lost their sense of humor. Corn still shows up as popcorn, exploding into fluffy clouds like it's performing a magic trick. Wheat still gives us birthday cakes that collapse if you slam the oven door too hard. Rice still glues together sushi rolls with the reliability of edible glue. They don't just feed industries, they make life a little sillier and tastier along the way. So next time you're staring at your breakfast cereal, munching on a sandwich, or crunching into chips, remember, you're not just eating. You're witnessing the industrial empire of rice, wheat, and corn in action. They are the secret CEOs of the food world, funny, versatile, and indispensable. Without them, the global food industry wouldn't just stumble, it would collapse faster than a poorly baked souffle.